Hi there, it's Dr. Nadia, founder of the Doyenne Agency and host of Straight Talk About Sales. And I am super excited. This is part 4 in my series on hosting a launch. So you've gone through the process and you're like, all right, Dr. Nadia, I'm ready. I know this is what I want to do. I know what it is I'm going to offer. I have all my pieces in place. I have the cash and sustainability in my business. Let's do this. So you've done all the things leading up to the launch, and now it's the day of your masterclass or your webinar, which most people leverage. And most people leverage at least one live webinar. They may continue to use the replaying as a tool later. They may add that to their funnel, but usually in the the live launch, there's a live component. Not always. Sometimes there is an evergreen webinar or a pre-recorded webinar that is designed to play it live. But for purposes of today's video, it's live. So you are ready. You're like, oh my gosh. All right, so all the nerves, all the excitement that's been building up to this one moment. Now it's time to launch. Oh my goodness. So what do? A lot of people have questions about this because now you have hundreds of eyeballs, right, on your webinar or your masterclass, and you are ready to rock it out. And you want to provide great content, but it's like, dude, I have an offer, I have an invitation, and I want people to say yes. All right, so here's the thing. What do? How do you do this? 1, take a deep breath. That's not even in my notes, but I know what it's like. It's like, ah! So just take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. The second thing is this is when you have to just leverage your faith, if you will, and just let it go. Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself that your brain can no longer function, okay? So those are just some of my prelims. Get hyped up. Whatever you need to do with your pre-webinar masterclass, step on stage or the virtual stage, right, that you do. Play some hype music, do all that stuff to get your mind ready. But at this point, trust that everything you've done leading up to this point has gotten people to where they are now. And now they are really excited about the content you're about to share. So here's some things to really help take this to the next level, because this is that part where it's like, oh, sales, I'm gonna make an offer. Blah. All right. So the one thing, and this is something I've been getting feedback on, and I don't attend as many webinars these days as I used to, but I can tell you that it was definitely a pet peeve is I signed up for the webinar or masterclass for a reason. So point number one, provide the content that you said you were going to provide. Isn't it annoying? You go to a webinar, you're like, dude, this is not what I signed up for. Be clear, whatever the content is that you said on your registration page that you were going to provide it. That seems really simple. Like, do what you said you were going to do. Trust me, because a lot of the people, it is fair to say that a number of people that are on this webinar are still very new to you. You'll have some of your clients, you'll have some people that have been following you for a long time, but you'll also have people that are really, really, really new to you. They are still checking you out, and they are still trying to decide, I don't know how I feel, right? Now, not to say that you don't want to do that to your other clients, but those people that have been following you for a while, they probably are at that point where they will extend you a lot more grace versus someone who doesn't know you, right? So you want to make sure you do what you said you were going to do, and remind them at the very beginning, hey, this is what we're going to talk about today. And I only have X amount of minutes, whatever minutes, 45, 90, whatever you said, do it, right? Perfect. The second thing is be upfront. Just tell them, hey, at some point before we wrap up today, I am going to extend an invitation or extend an offer or share with you ways that you can work with me. Whatever verbiage feels good to you, I don't care. Just tell the people. Tell them. Don't pull that bait and switch because that pisses people off. Tell them. And if you're having nope, this is for a launch. Never mind. I was going to go down the rabbit hole. No. This is for your launch. Tell them that before we wrap up today, you're going to extend that invitation, okay? Just be transparent. Be upfront. People are smart. They know who it's for, whether or not it's right for them. And then even if you are at that point and you feel comfortable, you can tell them, this is for you if you're here, great. If not, not so much. part of what you're doing is also not only to attract the people you want to work with, but also to repel the people that you don't. So make it really easy for them to decide, wait, that's for me? No, it's not for me. It's all good, but be upfront. I remember recently I did go to a webinar and I was on this class and the person says, I am not going to sell you on this webinar. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then they turned around and said, I'm going to, I forget the words she used, but it was just like, wait a minute. Basically, I'm not going to sell you, but oh wait, I am going to sell you. So I don't know if it was just a faux pas or whatever, but you know, maybe she's made an error, but it was one of the things like, wait, what? I'm confused. Are you selling me or are you not selling me? But whatever. So just tell them, I'm going to sell you. I'm going to extend that invitation before we wrap up. And if you're interested, just stick around. I'll share the details. That's it. It's so easy. Be honest. It also, again, takes the pressure off because you're like, oh my gosh, I got to bait and switch them. I got them all here. And now I'm going to pull the okie doke and say, ta-da, I got an offer. No, don't do that. Make sure, point 3, make sure you give yourself enough time to walk through the offer. Give yourself time. So what I invite you to do is you have your content ready, right, that you're going to teach, and those points should be leading people. So like imagine this. Oh, this is a really good example. Imagine this. You're taking your prospects by the hand, literally. I want you to have that imagine. You just think of your client avatar, close your eyes, and you take them by the hand and you just walk them through your process, the whole process, also known as a funnel. And you're just walking them through. What does that look like? What does that person need to know or hear in order to get to that point where they're ready to make a decision about your program that you're offering them, which is the next best step? Sometimes, because especially when you have multiples, we get like, whoa, calm it down, bring it here. Baby steps. So you give them this content. It's going to knock their socks off. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh. And they're like, crap, but I need help, right? That's when you come in and understand that you're doing this and you're giving them the opportunity to decide, do they want to take that journey with you? That's all you're doing. So again, it's taking that pressure off of making an offer and freaking out and oh my gosh, it doesn't have to be that deep. But when you take time to think through your content and your presentation in that way, it's like, oh, the light bulb goes on. So what content do they need to hear, see, understand before they're like, okay, that program is my next best step. Okay, so but you also, especially for those, if you're like me, I'm a teacher. God help me, right? So I get all excited about the content and I have been known to forget that there is more to this, right? So you want to also make sure you've given yourself enough time to walk through it without going, you probably have seen it or you've done it, right? You're like, do, and you're sharing your content. You're like all excited, boop, 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 boop. And you're like, oh crap, I got an offer. And you go, and you're like, what just happened? You want to be able to give your offer in the same spirit, energy, cadence as you deliver the rest of your content. If you were laughing and joking and having a good time, you don't want to all of a sudden become all serious and stiff like the drill sergeant. People are like, wait, what? What? Stay the same. So if that means that you have to practice, I encourage you, I invite you, I strongly encourage you to practice, then do so. You also want to take a moment and just kind of, if you create your offer outside of the content, and then you look at it as a separate presentation. And again, what are things that people need to understand so that they can take you up on the offer? Who is it for? When is the time? When is it the right time? All those different things they need to understand. Obviously, once you explain to them the benefits, then you can walk them through all the pieces of how it works. Then you may talk about the investment, depends on price point, whether you say the investment on the actual masterclass or not, completely up to you. And then whatever that next step is, Is the next step to go to a page and buy? Or is the next step to go to a page and maybe fill out an application to schedule an appointment? Whatever that process is, take the time to explain it slowly, okay? Then this is another piece. Point number 4 is make sure that whatever your call to action is easy. So in other words, if you need to get a vanity URL, do it. Get the vanity URL because you're online and it's easier than bit.ly. It's easier than your website / /. It's like, wait, what? Make it easy for people to say yes to you. So if you need to get a vanity URL and have it redirect, please do. So you can say, I don't know, something simple like meetwithdrnadia.com versus doyenneleadership.com / meet-what? What? It's crazy. And then, of course, you can put it on your slides. I encourage you to have slides. I encourage you to have slides to remind you to do certain things because you will get nervous. Most of us do get nervous. And if you're like me, when I get nervous, I forget. When I get nervous, I talk really fast. So I have to remember, I have like little sticky notes. Slow down. Breathe, right? It's natural. It's normal. Nothing's wrong with you. So just make sure that you put things in place to support you through this process. And if you're new to doing launches, if you're new to hosting webinars or master classes and then extending an invitation, it can be a wee bit nerve-wracking. So do what you have to do. Get your support system there. Have friendly faces on the webinar or masterclass, knowing that they're out there holding the space for you, sending you good vibes, sending you love, texting you to breathe, telling you to take a sip of water, right? All that good stuff. Take care of yourself, support yourself, because it's important for you to be supported and taken care of so that you can support and provide great content, but also be there for those that need you and know that this is the next best step. You can't be a hot mess and then try to expect them to be like, oh, wait, yeah, I want to go work with the hot mess, and we both be a hot mess together. So whatever you need to do for your support, do it. And then finally, have all your follow-up on the back-end stuff ready to go. So the final video of this series, we'll talk more about the follow-up, but have all that stuff ready to go, man, because I'm telling you, things have been tested. That's important too. To have those emails ready to go, know what your next steps are going to be in terms of if you're sending out the recording, what you need to do to make sure said recording is ready, and all the follow-ups and things that are in place to just reinforce it, because not everyone that signed up is going to be on live. Are you sending them recording? Are you not sending them recording? What information are you sending to them? Know that ahead of time so that when you are there in that moment, you are completely present, you are completely focused, and you are in your element of providing excellent service to those who have given you the gift of their time by saying, yes, I will show up to your class or your webinar to get this amazing content that you said you were going to share with me. That's huge. Whether they ever buy from you, they gave you their time. And that's one thing they can never get back. I want you to remember that. That's a huge gift to you that you said, I'm going to give you this great content. And they said, ooh, that sounds fabulous. I want to be there for that. So you want to make sure that you are tip-top ready to do this, even if it is a webinar or masterclass and you're at home and you're only dressed from the waist up. Doesn't matter. Provide excellent content and make sure that you're ready. Do what it takes. So you don't want to be harried. You don't want to be rushed. You don't want to be in a hurry. You want to be fully present, grounded, ready to rock and roll, to share that. And then for those who are the right fit, those that this is the next best step, then you can invite them to take that next step with you. And if you're their person, they'll say, yes, 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 right? All right, so really quick, run through these 5 things one more time. Provide the content that you said you would provide. Do what you said you were going to do. 2, be honest, straight up at the beginning. I'm extending the invitation. I'm going to share more ways to work with me. Whatever that sounds like for you and your program, boom, share it straight up front. You may even remind people, because you know people come on late, so you can say, hey, you may be late. Thank you for joining. But before we go, don't just jump out of here yet, because I have an amazing offer to share with you. And really quick about that, whether you share it at the end or whether you wait and share it before you share your last point, that's completely up to you. Do what you want to do, right? There are people that they have their reasons of why they don't. But honestly, people that want to work with you, they're going to figure out a way to work with you. All right. So don't put too much stress on that. However you feel about it, just do it. 3, give yourself enough time to walk people through the invitation and the offer so that they can be able to say yes to you, which is what you want them to do. 4, make it easy to have a vanity URL or whatever so that they can go straight there and click the buy button or schedule that appointment or fill out that assessment or whatever their next step is based on the price point of your program and how you plan to offer it. And then finally, have all your stuff ready to go. Know exactly what's going to happen at the end of your webinar or masterclass so that you can have all those pieces in place and you can get those emails and that information out to people on the back end of said webinar or masterclass so that those that are a little bit slower or those that didn't attend live can get that information and they can take you up on your special offer. All right. All right. This is so much fun. I hope you are enjoying this series on having a launch. We have one more video in this 5-part series. This was part number 4. So I hope you're having a great time. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can send an email, you can post, whatever, wherever you're seeing this, share that information and get connected with us and our team. Or, meetwithdrnadia.com is actually a real URL. You can head on over there and schedule time to talk with me or someone on my team. We'll be more than happy to work with you. This is Dr. Nadia, founder of the Doyenne Agency, with another episode of Straight Talk About Sales. Signing off. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.